Hey friends, it's Becky here and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to new video. Since we are slowly approaching the end of the year, I thought it would be quite nice to show you what I've been up to when it comes to tracking my reading. I started this journal in the March of this year and it was actually the first video I ever published on this channel. I wanted to have a spread in here in which I could keep a track of all the books I read before, at least those I could remember, so I would always write down the list with the title and the author of the book. My next spread was little TBR library in which I could write down all the books I wanted to read, and as you can see, those which are filled with colors I already read and those which are empty I still need to read. This is one of my most favorite spreads since I really love to keep a track of my favorite quotes, and whenever I find some which I really like, I always write them down here. And slowly we are approaching my book review section, and I must say I really like how these two spreads turned out. The first two books which I read in this year are Educated and The Shadows Between Us, and as you can see I also written down little quotes to the bottom of the page, because if there are too many quotes in the book which I like, I would hardly fit all of them to the quote spread, so I would also write them down next to the book. I try to keep my journaling very simple, so I would always write there the author, genre, pages, then what was the story about, and my little review, what I actually thought about the book, and I would like to put some little decoration to the corner, and of course have my star rating to know how I like the book in general. Sometimes I would do just very simple decoration to the spreads, and sometimes I would play with it a little bit more. For example, here with green lights, I decided to use only simple colors and then have my information, but then with Little Paris Bookshop I wanted to play with it a little bit more, so I did little drawing to the bottom of the page. I also wanted to keep my spreads quite similar to each other, so I would always have these black lines around the edges, and I must say I really like how these two spreads turned out. The Highland Witch definitely belongs to the highlights of my year, and here I try to play with the watercolors a little bit, and I also have a separated review video in which you can follow the process of me painting this little Glencoe. I promised my sister I would read the whole series from Sarah J. Maas, but so far I managed to read only the first book, so we'll see what the next year brings. Aristotle and Dante is one of my favorites as well, and here once again I filled the pages with the quotes because I really like them, and I think I kept doing it pretty much everywhere. I really like how Jane Austen July spreads turned out. I would put there little pictures of the books which I read that month, and I must say I really like this vintage and soft pink style with a little bit of scrapbook vibes. And slowly approaching my witches spreads, I must say the Once and Future Witches was a little disappointing. I gave it only 2 stars, but Threadneedle was absolutely amazing. Memoirs of Geisha, another amazing book, and Kindred Words is actually the first time I was sent the book by the author herself, and it's absolutely wonderful book of poetry based on Anne of Green Gables, so highly recommend you to pick it up as well if you like Anne of Green Gables and all these summer and cottage vibes. This flower at the professor spread will pretend it's not there because I really don't like how it turned out. And my next spread for How to be Victorian by Ruth Goodman, I must say I really like it. It's a book about Victorian period of living and it's absolutely amazing. Highly recommend you to pick it up. What I talk about when I talk about running was my first buddy read with Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, and Empire of the Vampire is another amazing book which I still need to do a review about. And the Pillow Thoughts, my favorite. Again, I would put little pictures of all the books to the bottom of the page, and on the other side I would write down all my favorite verses from the book, and let me tell you, it was really difficult to choose which ones to put there because I loved them all. Oh, here are some notes which I still need to write down about the books which I'm still reading, and The Queens of Animation is another amazing book I read this year. So that's it for my little flip through. It's very simple for now, but I hope you still liked it. As I said, there are still a couple books which I'm currently reading, approximately 3 of them, and I would like to write them down there once I finish them, so that's why I left a couple pages free, and now I would like to set some new spreads for upcoming year. Since there is plenty of space in this journal, I did not want to buy a new journal and didn't want to waste these pages, so I decided to continue, and once again I would like to have that sort of like vintage and scrapbook style for my spreads. Right now I'm going to play a little bit with the title page for 2022, and this is the part of the process which I really enjoy the most, when I can just experiment with stuff which I'm going to put there. I'm actually collecting all these different spreads and pictures and vintage papers all year long, and I never know how to use it, but now thanks to this reading journal I finally found some purpose for them, so that makes me really happy and I really enjoy using them for my reading journal. But I would like to know about you and about your reading journal journey. Are you journaling, or do you have any sort of bullet journal or diary or anything else you are using? Or how do you keep a track of your reading? Do you keep a track of your reading? I'm very curious, so please let me know in the comments. For example, this picture with the typewriter, I was waiting for using it for so long, and now I finally can, which I'm very happy about. I decided to go with a quote by Virginia Woolf, whose books I still need to read because I haven't read any of them so far, and the quote says, "Books are the mirrors of our soul." Very simple, but I very like it. And now finally the spread I'm really excited about for my buddy reads. If you remember, a couple days ago I actually released a video called Looking for Buddy Reads, when I was trying to find someone who would like to join me for reading some books which I would like to read in 2022. And once again, thank you so much for your reactions and for your comments and for everyone who wanted to participate. And I decided to create this little spread that could help me to keep better track of the reading and when I'm going to read what book. So far I have several books which are for February, March and April, and if there is anyone else who would like to buddy read something with me next year, please just let me know either here in the comments or then through the Instagram. There are a couple things I would like to do differently for this reading journal for next year, because as you notice, so far I've been always writing just one book at a time as I would finish it, but that was it. But now I would really like to focus more on creating some separated title spreads for every month, and then I would keep writing about those books so I can have better idea when I finish the book, and after that I would like to have some reading stats for each month, so to know what kind of books I read, how many books I read, and kind of make it simple for myself. And I think it would also be a good way how I could maybe create more journaling videos when preparing these title pages, and hopefully do them with watercolors as well, or do some different technique and make it more interesting for my journaling. And those would be all my 3 spreads I wanted to do, so very quickly I would like to show you my little title page for 2022. I honestly cannot believe this year is already here. Then my buddy reads. I also left little space there so I can keep a track of other books which I would like to read but just don't know when yet. And then finally the last spread, which is my title spread for January. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this and you like this journal. Please let me know in the comments about your reading journal or your process of keeping track of your readings, and I will see you with another video very soon. Thank you very much. Bye!